Today, Precarious plays
Lost Kingdoms 2. Something interesting just happened that I did not notice and I'm not sure how to deal with.
Yeah.
At some point, all of my bansheeing maxed out my wood element attribute.
Ooh.
And I have become a wood being. My attribute. So remember before, way long ago, I was wondering like, oh, I wonder if whenever you're transformed, if your attribute changes.
Yeah.
Evidently, there are titles associated with the elements.
Huh.
Yeah, so now as a wood being, you are strongest against earth creatures and weakest against fire creatures. So I suppose I am now taking double damage personally from fire and taking half as much from earth.
Oh god. Well, glad we got those fire floors over with, right?
Yeah, that's kind of a nightmare. I don't know what to do. I mean, I guess I just need to start using other cards to drop my wood experience. Ideally, I suppose you'd want to be a neutral master. But I don't know. I mean, it's kind of cool being a master druid.
Look at these hoppy guys.
They're just baby dragons.
They're
Hey,
cute.
little baby dragons. We've encountered them before. That's an acid dragon. Don't like that.
Ooh.
Get blasted.
So, what type of element are we on now?
Water? Water.
Okay. Are you still worried that you're gonna end up with a bunch of neutral floors?
Yeah, because it was green. It was green on 12, and it just switched to blue, which is water, on 13. So 13, 14, 15, 16. On 17, I'm supposing it will change again. And it's probably either going to be steely gray or that sort of gray and purple neutral.
Yeah.
So I'm going to point out something here. I keep seeing these grates and thinking like, oh, okay, it's a dead end. But because of the crack in the floor beyond it,
Yeah?
it always gets me for a minute where I'm like, oh, there's something shiny on the ground.
And you're like, I better go pick that up.
Yeah. A shiny thing on the ground. Ooh.
Yeah. So, speaking of this game's art and hoppy dragons and things,
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if there is an art book for this game or something like it.
If there is, it's probably in Japanese, which doesn't matter too much, what with the pictures, it being a picture book.
Yeah. Like, I really want... So we've compared this to Dungeons & Dragons a couple of times, and I really want this... all of these monsters in a monster manual.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see them in, like, illustrations instead of these models, because I think the models do a good job, but at the same time, the drawings are better than the models, and like, the card illustrations
are probably not as cool as the originals.
Yeah, like the concept art, like if the models are that good and the card illustrations are that good, then what does the concept art look like?
Mm-hmm.
I want it. Like, this guy's a little blocky, but he must be ever so graceful. Okay, maybe not super graceful. Those buck teeth are pretty funny, but
Well, it's probably pretty cool. Well, I like to imagine that the tree was probably part of the concept art, and it was really exciting to like make it a part of the gameplay.
yeah. Well, and there are so many dang cards too. Like, you could fill a book.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if they would. It is frustrating to me now that this game hasn't gotten more attention. Like, because it's been out long enough that, like, if it had a big fan base, we could expect at least a remaster
Ooh, because they're doing Demon Souls.
Yeah, like a remaster, and then like, or maybe like an anniversary edition art book, or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, or just a port, like barely a remaster, but a port to somewhere else.
They could bundle them both together and put them on the Switch, probably with like an update to, even if they didn't update the graphics, if they just wanted to maybe like make the camera consistent across both games, for example, something like that.
I mean,
Yeah.
so it's kind of frustrating that this didn't get like a big hurrah.
I mean, it's peculiar just because I know that some people have become fascinated with Kingsfield because of the success of the Souls series. So I kind of wonder, like, I think that these games are better to play
Yeah.
than Kingsfield.
Yeah.
Or, you know what? Hold on, I forgot a major one. I am a fan of Armored Core.
Yeah.
This game is better to play than any Armored Core, even the most recent one, 5/Verdict Day.
Yeah.
And I'm saying that as someone who has played Armored Core since I think the 2 series games.
Yeah.
Was it 2 or 3?
How many copies of Armored Core, the most recent one?
I've told that story too many. Too many. Yeah. I really wanted it to become like the thing.
Yeah.
Like I could see my friends and I playing it like we played, say, like Halo Reach at the time.
Yeah.
And it was not meant to be.
So, but like this game, I mean, I wonder what happens when you look into predecessors of Bloodborne and Dark Souls. Like, if somebody is like, I like this game, I want to see where it came from, why wouldn't this come up and why wouldn't people be interested in it? Do you think the fact that it's visually styled as a card game stops it? Like, what the heck is the problem here?
I don't know. I mean, I've got some cynical ideas on the subject.
Yeah.
I think that, first off, I'm the only one that I've ever seen. I've never seen Lost Kingdoms uttered in the same breath as Dark Souls,
Yeah.
other than me talking about it. I mean, seriously, like,
Really?
really? Like, so whenever people talk about the history of the Souls games, specifically like Demon Souls, people will drop the Kingsfield name and they'll say like, well, this game was sort of the predecessor. It was this, but a little rougher and first person. Yeah, nobody looks at this title and then says like, well, I mean, if you look at Lost Kingdoms 2, that had a lot of the same, the moving around is very similar, and the penalty system, like the your ability to lose and then lose harder is the same.
Have you played Kingsfield?
A little bit.
Do you think that this game has more in common with the Souls series than Kingsfield does?
Not in like the level design. I didn't play enough of it to determine that. No, I think that this game, how to say it, if you were to play this game, I think that your ability to physically manipulate the controller in a way that matched what was expected of you in Demon Souls, you would be much better prepared. And I think that the mentality is much closer, where you're in the Souls games, it's basically the same kind of system, but a little more forgiving and a lot faster. The magic stones that you have in this game, I've mentioned before that it's actually highly reminiscent of the stamina system.
Mm-hmm.
But stamina will come back if you just back off and wait.
Mm-hmm.
In this game, the only way through is forward unless you have cards like the Goblin Lord that will dig up magic stones for you. But even then, if you actually get down to 0, you're gonna have to take a hit unless you... I mean, I guess if you grab a blue fairy and it gives you stones, that's one way to circumvent the damage, but in the middle of a battle, it's actually much more pronounced in the original game where you got teleported to a Thunderdome.
Mm-hmm.
Pardon me?
Ribbons.
What are you? Why are you singing a song of courage?
It's weird.
I gotta zap you to find out what you are. I hope that I get one. I hope that I get whatever that was right now.
Yeah.
Let's roll those dice. Only 2 cards. Here we go. Nope.
Nope. Dang it.
Oh well.